dialogue and all were longer and all where the script were longer, I kept on forgetting.
Okay, you have longer dialogues.
Longer dialogues and all, I kept forgetting. They had to prompt me, but even then I was finding it very difficult. Just imagine shooting in a strange language, no? Oh, Sandeep, how he encouraged me. He had lots of patience with me because, as you can imagine, as a new artist, I bumbled. I made mistakes, but they were also patient with me. Malayalam films, I used to watch Hindi movies earlier, which is all song and dance and all that, but I think this is more intellectual. Malayalam films are more intellectual, and I enjoyed it. Here the women are so protected.
Yeah.
Is it?
Kind of.
Over
yes.
there we are so independent. We can do anything we like. We go anywhere we like. We don't even have to. We do tell them, our family, but we don't need permission as such. People from the mainstream India. Outside.
Mainstream India?
Yeah. We are the Northeast and there is the mainstream India.
Okay.
Then the South. Okay? That's the reality of it. We are frightened a little bit, apprehensive actually, of the present central government because of their bias against Christianity. And most of the Northeastern sisters are mostly Christian, majority are Christians. So when we see Christians or churches being harassed, then we worry.
നമസ്കാരം. മീഡിയനോടൊപ്പം ഉള്ളത് എക്കോയിലെ മ്ലാത്തി ചേട്ടത്തിയാണ്. നമസ്കാരം. So Kerala is now almost everywhere it is talking about Echo and the character Mlati Chetati. So I hope it's giving you immense happiness being part of Echo, being part of Kerala. How do you feel now?
First thing is relief.
Okay.
That because I'm a newcomer to this area, as also a newcomer to films.
Okay.
This is actually my second movie only. The first one is not even released.
That's a short film, right?
That was only a 20-minute short film. So I'm feeling very much relieved that I didn't disappoint anybody.
No, you've
That's
made
my
us
first
happy.
film. And I'm so thrilled also that it's been a success. I've heard that it is a success. So I'm very thrilled and happy for all those people who have actually encouraged me to do this. So that's first thing is relief, then joy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the team of Echo have already said that the shooting process was very difficult because the terrain was on a hilltop, and I hope that will not be a strange place for you because the geography is almost similar, right? With Meghalaya.
It is very similar to our place. We have rains, we have wind and all that. So the topography was not a challenge to me at all. Yeah, we had to shoot in the rain and all, although it didn't show in the movie.
Yeah.
We were shooting in the rain. The people were all covered in seats and all, but that was all familiar for me. What was strange for me was other things.
What was that? The strange things?
What was different actually was the language, first of all.
Okay.
Where the people, the state also, I'm not familiar with Kerala. It was my first time seeing Kerala. Okay. And also people speaking Malayalam because very few Malayalis are there in our town.
Okay.
So I had never heard the language being spoken before. It's such a beautiful, melodious language. And that was the toughest part for me, learning the nuances of the language so that I could translate it into the movie. So although my thing was dub, my character was dub, I had to speak the language so that it would sync properly, no? So for about a month I was here before the actual film started.
Okay, so you have been training the language in the...
Yeah, I went to the sets, heard the language being spoken. Although I didn't understand at all, at least I knew the flow of it.
Okay.
So in that way, the whole team helped me. They were speaking to me in Malayalam. And by the end of my stay, by the second month, I was at least understanding a little bit of it. And for the movie itself, I could somehow manage to get the proper sequence of the language, actually.
So you got a trainer, right? Anjali
I
was
have a
training you.
trainer, Anjali Satyanath.
Yeah.
She was with me the whole time throughout. She was speaking in Malayalam and we were working out. I was trying first to memorize the script.
Okay.
But there are no pauses there in Malayalam language. It flows so melodiously. So I didn't know where to stop, where to end. So we were practicing in Malayalam.
Okay.
Then for the longer, where the talk and all were longer and all where the script were longer, I kept on forgetting.
Okay, you have longer dialogues.
Longer dialogues and all, I kept forgetting. They had to prompt me, but even then I was finding it very difficult. Just imagine shooting in a strange language, no? So we got into a system where we use phonetically.
Oh.
We use phonetics to transcribe the whole Malayalam script into English words.
Okay.
And Anjali, and there was another man, Dwarkis, who was trained, I think. So 3 of us, we got together and then we transcribed the whole dialogue into English words. Okay. It made no sense. Okay.
Yeah.
It made no sense, but it sounded Malayalam.
Okay. Phonetically, they were similar, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
So like that only. So I should thank both of them for helping me through the script, the difficulties I had. And I think in the end, it came out well.
Yes, it is.
So I'm very happy about it. And I'm very grateful to them also. I don't think I would have been able to do it on my own.
So when Bahul narrated you the script, what made you excited in that? Like, it's a strange story. It can be set in anywhere.
It is strange, but I am a fighter for women empowerment. So this is about women empowerment, the power of women. I like that part.
How was it like performing with the dogs, with Sandeep and all?
Oh, Sandeep, how he encouraged me. He had lots of patience with me because, as you can imagine, as a new artist, I bumbled. I made mistakes, but they were also patient with me. Dogs also, when I interacted with them, and I think, although they look very ferocious, they were actually
Sweet.
gentle dogs.
Okay. Yeah. So okay, please continue.
So it was nice. That's all I can say.
So how did Bahul reach you out?
Bahul and Dinjitji and Jairaman.
Okay.
The 3 of them had gone scouting in the Northeast. They had gone, I think, many places. Then one of our Garo producers,
Okay.
Dominic, he sent a photo of me from where I was, not a scene, but just a photo of me sitting, resting. And they sent it to one Christoph, I think, from Mumbai. And they must have asking, so he sent it to them and they came to audition me in Guwahati.
Okay.
And I had to memorize a few lines, the beginning, where I was with the doctor. I had to memorize those few lines. And they liked me and they cast me. That's how only.
Yeah. So even before Echo, were you aware of Malayalam industry? Were you familiar with Malayalam industry or the movies or anything?
No, I'm sorry to say, no. Because we don't have a theatre.
Okay.
And I don't watch Hindi or regional movies. I mean, on Netflix, Jio and all that, I watch, but mostly English.
Okay.
We are more English oriented because I understand the language. But I did watch that Dinjichi's Kanda Kandam.
Okay. Kishkinda Gandam.
Yes, because he told me that he had directed that movie. After he recruited me, he told me he had directed that movie. So I wanted to be familiar with his work.
Okay.
Before I said final yes, so I saw it.
Okay.
Then when I met Anjali, she told me that she had acted in The Face of the Faceless.
Okay.
So I watched that movie also. So I've watched before this. Then I've watched this movie,
Echo.
So altogether, total 3 films I have watched.
Okay. So what is your impression about Malayalam movies?
I think Malayalam films, I used to watch Hindi movies earlier, which is all song and dance and all that. But I think this is more intellectual. Malayalam films are more intellectual. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the mystery of it. Even in Echo, I enjoyed the mystery, the thrill of it. When I watched it, there was never a dull moment. Even for Kiss Kanda Kandam also. It was every scene, everything. So although I had not much knowledge of it, I was enthralled by the depth of the Malayalam cinema, which is not there in other movies. I don't know much about other movies, but in those that I have watched, there was not much intellectual depth to all of that. So I found Malayalam movies are better than those other movies that I have watched. Okay.
So as a person who haven't watched much movies, who are not much exposed to especially Malayalam movies, how did you just generated that intensity of performing?
Well, I've lived a long life. I'm 70 years old. I've seen face happiness. I've seen grief. So all that of my life experiences, I think it flowed out into the movie. When I had to feel sad, I just channeled inside to see the sadness which is in me. Mm-hmm. Because in my long life, I have seen everything. I've seen joy, I've seen grief, I've experienced everything. Okay. So when required, since I had no knowledge of acting also, no techniques of acting and all, I just channeled deep into my own life. That's how I did it.
You could relate to your own experiences. Right?
Yes. Okay. I could relate to my own experiences, and that was translated into the movie. Okay. And of course, the directors and all, they help a lot. They were so encouraging, they were so patient. Every time I stumbled, I made mistakes, naturally, but they encouraged me. And of course, I have to say, even accepting this film, I was really scared what to expect, because I had no expectations. I didn't know anything about the film industry. I didn't know anything about the Malayalam film industry. But my family, my daughter, my sons and all, I said, go on, mommy, try something new. Yes. I've been an educator my whole life. I've been in line of education my whole life. I said, experience something new. This is an opportunity for you. Why don't you take it? Try it. They have faith in you. Why don't you have faith in yourself? They were telling me. So I said, okay. And I came, totally petrified, totally unprepared. But the people here, I think they transformed me into that Malati Chatati. Okay?
Malati Chatati.
I could never get the pronunciation right. Malati Chatati. They laugh at me all the time because I say Malati Chatati. It's not correct, no?
No, it's Malati Chatati.
I couldn't. I think it's something to do with our language.
So the Mlati, that word itself is very difficult, right?
Yeah. Luckily, I didn't have to say it in the movie. The others said it for me. So that was that.
The geographical difference is there, right? From Kerala to Meghalaya, So coming from Meghalaya to Kerala, how did it feel? Like the change in the topography and the cultural differences?
Topography, as I told you, ours is a hilly state, a rainy state. We have the wettest place in the world in Meghalaya. Mosinram, Cherrapunji, and our place also, it's wet half the year. So that was not such a challenge. And we live in the hills, so I'm used to walking up and down the hills.
Okay, so you're very comfortable with
I
it.
was very comfortable with it. Even when we were practicing for it, we stayed in Vagamon.
No.
And me and Anjali, we were walking up and down the hills every day.
Okay.
So that was not but what was strange for me was the language, the people, the food.
Okay.
Those were all challenges for me.
The food is totally different here, right?
Food is totally different. We are used to mostly boiled, steam, and as you say, very strong smelling foods and all that. Here it was very mild. I found it very mild. Chilies had no problem for me because we are used to chilies and all, but otherwise it was really very totally different culture. Over there, here the women are so protected. Is it?
Kind of.
Over there we are so independent. We can do anything we like. We go anywhere we like. We don't even have to, they do tell them, our family, but we don't need permission as such. And so here they are very protective of me.
Okay.
So I was laughing about it. I don't need protection, I'm okay.
Okay.
But I needed to adjust to the food.
Oh.
But the crew, the team, they told me I can order anything I want. But I said, I'm in Kerala. Why not enjoy Kerala food? Our food I can enjoy anytime I at home. So I'm always all for trying new things, different things.
Okay.
So I thoroughly enjoyed my stay here.
So how was the food and what did you like?
The food. I like all those, what you call them, the dosas and those, not the
The chutneys with it?
The chutneys, coconut chutney, the rasam and all, everything I enjoyed. And all the time chicken, 2-3 dishes of chicken every day. So I said, I'm dying for beef and pork, and also sometimes they used to bring me in the hotel.
Well
I
known
don't
for
know.
beef.
Huh?
We are well known for beef.
No, but they did cook beef.
Oh, okay.
And then they cook Malabar biryani and all that. So that I adjusted to the food and I enjoyed it also.
Okay.
Because once I leave Kerala, I won't be having that food. So I
Maximum enjoying the
maximum enjoyment. Even here, since I came, I've started eating Kerala food again,
Okay.
which is slightly different from the other
Like
dosas and all. Here dosas are very soft.
yeah.
We have been used to the crispy,
the thick one?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but I enjoyed it. I like the new taste, the new experience.
So what was your favorite experience that you would take away from Kerala?
My favorite experience would be the people. I found them so warm and accepting of me. I was the stranger here.
No, you're not now.
I was the stranger here, but everyone in the team, they accepted me, they welcomed me warmly. So the first thing I would say is the warm welcome that I had in Kerala, and the people all accepting my strangeness,
Okay.
my different ways. And especially I think because Anjali was also there with me. So she's Malayali also. So
Yeah.
with her by my side, I didn't feel like a stranger.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So what was
the-
that favorite moment in the movie Echo?
My favorite movie was in the last part
So while shooting, what was the best experience you had? Like that one moment.
That one moment was when I realized that I can do this. When they told me to cry, give emotional scenes, I didn't know whether I could do it or not. But when I did it, especially when I was reminiscing about my past in Malaysia, then after I did the scene, everybody in the team clapped for me.
Okay.
So that was the moment I realized, okay, I'm doing something right and that I can do it. That gave me the confidence. So that moment I remember when they all started clapping for me. They like what I what I showed, I think, the emotions and all. So that was changing moment for me, because then I realized I had the full confidence and I felt confident in myself.
Okay. So after the Echo released, you're getting so many responses from people. They have been talking about your character, your performance. So what is that one response that hooked you?
Uh, I cannot say what one response, because I don't think I would be recognized, for one thing, because I look so different in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't have that hairstyle also. So when I went out to see the movie on my own,
Okay.
people came out recognizing me and all that. So I've had that experience before, like people noticing me, experience me. I'm a very, very private person. So I think that was the moment I realized that, okay, I'm somebody recognizable in Kerala at least.
Okay.
So that was also very memorable for me, that the people of Kerala loved my acting.
Yes.
So I'm very proud and pleased about it. And I thank the people of Kerala for it, for loving me in the movie.
Okay.
Okay.
So you have been doing some other job, right? You're central government employee.
Not
So
central,
from
state government.
state government
Yeah.
employee. So then you're shifting your career to something else.
After nearly 5 years of retirement, yeah, I was teaching
Okay.
in a degree college. Then I was the principal. Then I was in charge of education. I was the chief academic officer in the Meghalaya board. So I had to do all the syllabus for the schools and all that. And then after I retired from my government career, then they asked me to join the MPSC, which is the Meghalaya Service Commission, which recruits people into these jobs. So I've been doing all government jobs. And then I thought I'll have a peaceful retirement in my house with my garden and my dogs. Then suddenly, the first offer came for the Garo movie.
Yeah.
Suddenly, this director, Jennifer, came along and said, "Auntie, you must please act in my movie." There also I was a little hesitant because I have no experience. I've never even acted in a college play or anything.
Okay.
So that movie also gave me the confidence. They were also confident in me. So when suddenly this offer from Malayalam films came along out of the blue, because I didn't know anybody here. I didn't have any Malayalam friends except one, because she was a assistant director in the Garu movie. Okay. But she didn't speak Malayalam.
Okay.
So she was the only one I knew as a friend. Then I had this opportunity. So I said, I'm still strong. So why not take this opportunity? So with the cooperation of my family, I came here.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's it.
So I'm just curious to know about Meghalaya as well, because we rarely get some people from the Eight Sisters in Kerala. So how is Meghalaya, like in a brief words to describe to Kerala audience?
Meghalaya is a beautiful state, like Kerala. I mean, We were talking recently with my son that when it's his first time for him also, that it's very similar here. The betel nut trees, the coconut trees, we have that in Meghalaya. Then Meghalaya is of three tribes, majority tribes, Khasi, Garo. I belong to the Garo tribe, and this is my traditional attire, which we wear all the time. And the Khasis are separate. So although we all follow the matrilineal system, we have different food habits and different, but you should visit Meghalaya. It's a beautiful state and very welcoming.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
But the uniqueness about it is matrilineal.
yeah. It's very, the women in Meghalaya are
The
so
women in
different.
Meghalaya are the mistresses of their own life
Okay.
and their own property and everything. So that is the uniqueness of Meghalaya. If you want to see women in action, you should come to Meghalaya.
Okay. That's so empowering.
In the
So,
workforce, everywhere you will see the women. Many of them. Whether it's in the government jobs, whether it is entrepreneurs in the streets, mostly women.
okay. So, what is the political scenario of Meghalaya? Because the neighboring state is being affected by this, the chaos is happening. Manipur has been affected. So, all these riots are happening. So, did it affect Meghalaya at any point?
No, it did not. We, three of us, the three major tribes and other small tribes, we all live peacefully. There have been no major disturbance so far. There are always people who try to rake up communal issues for their own gains,
Okay.
but the people have more sense.
Yes.
So it's the people who matter, no? So we try not to encourage these issues, but rather to damp it down. But there will always be some. We are, like we call people from the mainstream India outside.
Mainstream India.
Yeah, we are the Northeast and there is the mainstream India, then the South.
Okay.
Okay, that's the reality of it.
Yeah, so of course, like many people have been talking about the eight sisters, like the northeast states, they have been separated from the
Mainland.
as you quoted the
Yeah.
mainland. So, did that at any point did that affect the political scenarios or the living situations in Meghalaya or any of these eight states?
I don't want to get into politics as such, but we are frightened, a little bit apprehensive actually, of the present central government because of their bias against Christianity.
Okay.
And most of the Northeastern sisters are mostly Christian, majority are Christians. So when we see Christians or churches being harassed, then we worry.
So coming back to Echo, so it has very less cast. Like there are very few numbers of co-actors with you, right? So how was each member they're cooperating with you and their characters? How did that cooperation felt?
I think the cooperation between the actors was awesome because I interacted mostly with Sandeep.
Sandeep, yeah.
Yes. And he's a seasoned artist, whereas I was a raw novice. But he was always there to encourage me, always laughing and joking. So I felt completely at ease with him.
Okay.
So I think that feeling of comfort and ease helped a lot in delivering my dialogue and other things. Of course, we had a few funny moments where I couldn't get one dialogue right. We tried many, many times. I couldn't. So he gave me the names of different cars, like Versa, Maruti, and all, so that it sounded like Malayali and all. But as much as I tried, in my mind I was thinking, Versa. Okay, what's the next car? Then I would, then I would make a mess of the whole scene, and we would laugh. Then finally, somehow we managed it to Malala Basilium. That one.
Which was the dialogue?
That Malala Basilium, the Malaya Basilium, something like that. But at the end there was some dialogues which I couldn't get. So we had to stop and we had to carry on, but no one made me look foolish.
Okay.
They said it happens even to seasoned artists. It happens. So I was feeling very foolish because I couldn't get the lines, even with phonetics, and I couldn't remember it, and I was getting more nervous. But then we stopped, and he made me feel all right. He said even he also made some. There will be many retakes and all that. So I felt confident again. We managed to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was there feeling. It was chilly, cold, and we had to be there in our shirts. It was raining. You couldn't make out the rain, but we were under the sheets of rain and all, and the wind.
In that isolated house, right?
Yes, in that isolated house, and in the end also it was raining heavily. So whenever there was a little stop gap in the rain, then only we would shoot. We would all run for the shooting and all. So we were all wet. The bed where I was sleeping, it was soaked through and through, although it didn't look like it. Yeah. So we had those moments, but it all made up for the experience, I think, which is memorable. Yeah. And I think I will remember it the rest of my life. This Malayalam experience, this eco experience, it was great. And to be appreciated by the Malayalam audience, which I found just a glimpse of it yesterday. It was great. Yeah, and I loved it.
Yeah. So I hope that you are leaving Kerala with lots of memory, lots of loving memories.
Lots of love.
Yeah. Okay. So we are also grateful for the character, for the movie, for the performance. So thank you so much for this time and your wonderful performance, ma'am.
Thank you. I should be thanking you all for bringing me to Kerala and allowing me to do this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.